Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
La 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 la.
Bro, it's just broccoli. No, it's not just broccoli. The Carolina cook cooking the Carolinas cooked that. The Carolina cooked that? Yeah, man. We now interrupt your regularly scheduled program. I am the chefadent of the United States. America, the chefadent is now going into beast mode. Let's go, chef. TA Food Entertainment in the building. Sing along. Hit it. It's the Carolina cook, the Carolina cook, and the Carolinas, rock and roll to the roll, the rock. Say I'm cooking in the kitchen and just don't stop. Rock and roll to the roll, the rock. Say I'm cooking in the kitchen, just don't stop. Cooking is my specialty. Getting dirty in the kitchen like ODB. Turning these groceries into delicacies. The Carolina cook got the recipes. What's up, everybody? Chef Anthony Albritton here. The Carolina cook. Cooking, tasting, and eating the Carolinas. Y'all, my birthday is tomorrow, June 30th. Alright? Yeah. So it's either I could go treat myself tomorrow to a fancy restaurant, spend a lot of money, or I can do it myself because chef love is the best love. So I will be cooking myself a pre-birthday meal. And yeah, by the time this video comes out, my birthday may be a few days past because I'm a little slow on editing my videos. But in this episode, I will be cooking up some a cheese, spinach, and crab stuffed steak. A stuffed steak equals a stuffed belly. Do the math. Southern playalistic cooking, once you get on it, you can't get off. You know, just a little fancy something. Special shout out to all the June babies out there. All the cancers. Yeah. Me and my son's birthday is the same day. So I no longer have a birthday. So I got to get it in the way that I can. All right. He came along, he took my birthday. All right, with all of that being said, y'all, let's get into it. Let's go, chef. Get your steak. Get your crab meat. Now, this is imitation crab meat. It's a mixture of pollock, and king crab meat. All right, so it's got some crab in there. If this is an insult to your chefness, then go ahead and get you some real crab meat. Get your Badia Complete seasoning. Get your ranch dressing mix. Get your Chipotle pepper grill marinade. Get your vegetable oil. Get your shredded cheese. Get your onion, get your minced garlic, get your thyme, get your cream cheese, get your salt, get your pepper, and some toothpicks just in case. You'll see why later. And get yourself some spinach. And you're gonna need a quarter of water, as in a quarter cup of water. And no, a quarter of water does not mean toss a quarter into a cup of water. And get your Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire. That's how you pronounce it. And come with me. Take a trip. Skirt. Inside of my mind. And see how I did it. Ooh, I got another one, yeah. Let's go, chef. Let's go, chef. Let's go, chef. Okay, so we're gonna put that quarter cup of water into a bowl, and we're gonna also add a quarter cup of vegetable oil to the bowl. Then we're gonna add our marinade seasoning packet to the oil and water and combine it. All right, so what you want to do is take your steak of choice, all right, put it in a container that's big enough to contain the steak and the marinade, and you pouring that marinade mixture onto that steak. The instructions say let it marinate for about 15 minutes, but I'm gonna let mine go a little longer than that, all right? All right, now I'm gonna chop those onions and my crab meat, all right? I really like the butcher knife, y'all, when it comes to chopping up your prep, like your onions and stuff like that. It's a whole lot more convenient than a chef's knife. I mean, it really gets it done. Now we're going to prepare our spinach and cheese mixture to stuff in the steak. So first, I'm going to start with some oil and butter, get that nice and heated. Then we're going to go ahead and add our onions, get a nice saute going on those onions. Get those onions nice and tender, a little bit translucent. And then we're going to go ahead on the back end and add some minced garlic. All right. And just let that garlic go for a couple seconds. All right. Until those aromas release. You don't want to burn that garlic. Then we're going to go ahead and add our spinach. Now, you could go ahead and do a rough chop on your spinach, but what I found more convenient was to go ahead and shred it by hand as I add it to the pan. And what we're going to do is just saute this spinach around in the garlic and the onions until the spinach withers, and reduces in mass, volume, or size. They all mean the same thing, so pick one. All right, now what you're going to do is, once it's reached its desired consistency, well, first you want to add an adequate amount of spinach, because when that spinach withers, it's going to really reduce. So you want to make sure you have enough. All right. Then after that, you just want to remove it from the heat and let it cool down. All right. And this is where the mixology comes in at. So y'all keep up with me. I'm going to put that cream cheese in there. Then I'm going to put that spinach in there. Mix that up. Then I'm going to put my shredded cheese in that. Mix it up a little more. Then I'm going to add my Worcestershire sauce to that. And then I'm going to hit it with the ranch dressing seasoning. Then I'm going to hit it with that Badia Complete. Then I'm going to hit it with the dry thyme. You can use fresh thyme if you want to. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my crab meat to the mix. Then we're just going to mix that crab meat around in there. And this is the end result. Now let's prepare this steak for the stuffing. Now, as y'all can see, this is a pretty thick cut of steak. You want your steak to be really thick. And that way you'll be able to cut a pocket into your steak like I'm doing. So what I'm doing is just carving out a nice pocket into the steak. Don't cut too deep, just a nice pocket that's deep enough to stuff your stuffing inside of the steak. I managed to get 2 cuts out of this steak. One is a little smaller, but I'm going to do the same with that second cut of steak. So this will be this steak's little brother, because I'm not going to get as much stuffing in this one. And the other cuts of steak is not going to waste. I'm going to go ahead and cook those up on a later day. All right, I feel like I skipped something. or I don't want y'all to feel like I skipped something. So let's talk about this steak for a second. All right. I let it marinate throughout the whole process of sauteing and mixing the cheese mixture and all of that. So give or take, I would say my steak ended up marinating for, if not an hour, almost an hour, probably 45 minutes at the least, at the most. Now what I'm doing is stuffing this steak with the stuffing, and this is where the toothpicks came in at. What I'm going to do with the toothpicks is sort of like perform some type of steak surgery, like suturing the steak together, something like that, with the toothpicks. So I'm going to stick the toothpicks in the steak to hold the steak together so that as it's cooking, it's not losing too much of the mixture. Because anytime you stuff something with a cheese mixture or whatever, while it's cooking, you're going to lose a lot of that mixture. That's why you want to pack as much mixture in there as you can. And then to prevent losing too much, that's why I use the toothpicks. All right. I'm not going to beg you to stay. If you want to leave, you can leave. But, and if you've already left, that's fine too. But I'm going to try to, get through this process and try to speed this last part up. But I like to explain every detail and show the cooking process. And that's why it usually takes me a long time to get around to the end of the video. All right. So what I'm doing basically with this steak is just searing it the same way you would just regularly sear a steak. I'm just going to let it sear off for about 7 minutes or so on each side and get a nice pan sear and caramelization on each side. Now what I'm going to do is bring back the butter. Yes, we're going to bring back the butter, and I'm going to add this butter to the pan, to the skillet, and what I'm going to do is baste the steak with this butter. But first, I'm going to top the steak off. Just hit that top side with that Badia Complete seasoning. Now I'm going to go ahead and baste this steak with this butter, wash it down a couple times with this butter. And then I'm going to top it with some fresh rosemary and put the steak in the oven for about 20 minutes and let it finish up. Then I'll be back with the finished results. Dun, 20 minutes later, got myself a nice medium rare steak. We got ourselves a stuffed steak senior and a stuffed steak junior. All right, now let's go ahead and remove the toothpicks from the steak. Then I'm going to go ahead and top that broccoli with some of that shredded cheese. Then I'm going to melt that cheese on the broccoli, of course. Then I'm going to hit the steak, broccoli, and cheese with a couple sprinkles of salt and pepper. Nice medium rare on that steak. Got that stuffing in there. Gotta eat your greens. Thank y'all for watching and keeping it in the birthday spirit. Just remember, we were designed to move forward. We were designed to move forward. We were designed to advance. All right? So that's why when your birthday comes, you get older. You go forward. You don't go backwards. You don't get younger. You get older. That means we're designed to move forward. So don't think backwards and don't act backwards. Move forward in life because that's what we were designed to do. Liketh, shareth thou the love, and subscribeth unto my channel. And watch for the hook. Smiteth that notification button. Thank ya. Let's go, chef.